everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought we'd do a 2-page zoo scrapbook layout. The paper that I'm using today is actually from Hobby Lobby. I am using the paper from the open stock section, and I'm also using a paper from this stack pack. It's the Paper Studio brand. It's called Woodland Retreat. To start off, my paper does measure 11.5 by 11.5, and I did ink my edges with my Stampin' Up! Early Espresso. For my next piece, it does measure 4 inches by 11.5. Next, I do have a grass border. This I recently purchased from Cuddly Designs, and the border does measure 11.5 by 1 1/8. My next border, this is actually from the Silhouette store. Originally, this is the one I wanted to use up here, but when I stretched it out to be 11.5, it actually became really big. So instead what I did was I stretched it out to be 6 inches by 2 1/4 and duplicated. So I put one on this side and one on this side. And if you guys hear rain, it's actually raining really hard right now, and I'm actually right next to a window. The only thing, my kids are napping right now, so unfortunately it's the only time I could record. So again, I'm right next to a window, so if you guys hear rain, sorry about that. And this green paper that I'm using, it's actually from Cuttables. And next, I'll go ahead and back this on a piece of 12 by 12 craft cardstock paper. And for my next page, I actually already have it ready. Next, I do have 3 photo mats. My photo mats do come from Miss K Cuttables. They do measure 5.5 by 5.5. For the inside layer, it does measure 4.5 by 4 1/4, and I did do an internal offset both items. Next, for Marjorie Ann Designs, I do have my tiny little pond. It does measure 1 7/8 by 5 inches, and that only includes the bottom part. This top part for the grass, I didn't add till later, so that doesn't include that. And for this, I'll go ahead and bring it down here. For the rest of my pieces, they are all from Miss K Cuttables. I'll go ahead and put the information on the description down below just in case anybody's interested. And to start off, I do have my title. It does measure 6 3/4 by 2 7/8. And for the wood part area, I did pop it up on 1 thickness of foam tape. I'm gonna put it up here. Next, I do have my cute little lion. He does measure 4 5/8 by 4 1/4. And his head area I did pop up on foam tape as well. I do have a little zebra. It does measure 4 1/2 by 3 1/4. Next, I do have my giraffe. It does measure 5 1/4 by 3 1/8. Next, I do have my cute little hippo. He does measure 2 7/8 by 2 1/2. And for this one, I did pop up on 1 thickness of foam tape. Go ahead and bring it here in between my pond. Next, I do have my elephant. It does measure 3 1/8 by 4 1/2. And for his little trunk, I did pop it up on foam tape as well. For my next piece, this actually I just created it myself. Originally, I had the idea of having this design, but with arrows pointing hippos this way, giraffes this way, but I didn't have any arrows. And when I tried looking for something similar in the silhouette store, I didn't find anything that I liked. So I decided just to literally create this. The pole in the back, it measures 7 1/2 by 3/8. That I just created on my silhouette. And for my signs, actually what I ended up doing was on this part of the title, the wild, I duplicated it and I got it down to the size that I wanted, which is 1 inch by 2 1/2. On the top layer where you see the wild, I clicked on release compound path on my silhouette, so the wild disappeared. I moved it, deleted the wild part. On my silhouette, I typed out all the names: hippos, giraffes, monkeys, zebras, elephants, and lions. And they all have different sizes because I made them all to fit my signs that again were 1 inch by 2 1/2. And I put them on top of my top layer and highlighted the names and the sign and clicked on make compound path. And that's how I got this. And what I use for this, I ended up using my cardstock that kind of looks like wood, and that's what I ended up using for my signs, and just inked it heavily with my Stampin' Up! Early Espresso. And I really like the way it looks. And I also added this grass part at the bottom, and I'll go ahead and put it over here. Next, I do have a couple of little vines. Next, I do have my cute little monkey. He does measure 3 1/8 by 2 3/4, and the top layer I also popped it up on foam tape as well. And I'm going to go ahead and put him here hanging on the vines. He's so cute. And lastly, I took a palm tree and I went ahead and removed the bottom part, so I'm only using the top of the palm tree for the leaves. For this, it does measure 2 1/8 by 2 1/4. Now go ahead and place one here and one down here. And there you have it. This is my 2-page Sue scrapbook layout. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye for now.